What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 514th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Greg.
Hello.
That's it.
What do you want?
Happy
I'm off
birthday.
this week.
Happy.
Oh, he's off.
I'm
You're
not
never
doing any work that I am not being paid through vacation time for.
Speaking of vacation, Will is here.
Why is that speaking of vacation? I don't take vacation. I am done with the internet, so maybe I'm taking a vacation from the internet. All of y'all on Reddit, I'm done with you. I'm done.
Fair. Try to make this show quick. I'm going out of town. Greg has plans. Will is trying to stay off the internet.
I'm working.
I mean,
I'm literally supposed to be at work right now.
My plans were to pick a person up from the hospital, but they canceled their surgery. So that's those were really fun plans.
You don't need surgery. Overrated. Somebody made that choice. We have some Pokemon Go news. We have some Pokemon Home news. We have some Pokemon TCG news. Let's get the angry stuff out of the way. Pokemon Go.
What did they mess up now? Although,
Raids.
yeah, what's funny is that after last week, I've now noticed UI problems with Pokemon Go. So good job, Niantic. Let all your products, let Pikmin Bloom drag everything else down into the toilet with it.
Hey, Pikmin Bloom just had an update, and I think it fixed the thing you were complaining about.
Nope.
If
you check in our Slack, I recorded a video of it not working.
Is there a Pikmin channel in Slack?
Yeah,
No, I just put it right in the podcast channel.
Oh,
It was
that's where it
podcast
belongs.
related.
True.
All right, we'll just go through this Pokemon Go news real quick. All the stuff is off PokemonGoLive.com. Celebrate the season of Alola during the Alola to Alola finale event. To be fair, that's a pretty good name.
That went fast.
Wednesday, May 25th from 10 a.m. to Tuesday, May 31st to 8 p.m. Trainers. Before the season of Alola ends, we have one last event to close out the season in style. During the Alola to Alola event, trainers can embark on a branching special research story that rewards different tasks based on the path you choose. Complete all 4 of the event-exclusive special research stories by June 1st to unlock a bonus end of special research story. There will be different branching paths that will let you pick between Mele, Akala, Ula, and Pony, each giving you different tasks and rewards based on your selection. Tickets to access the end of season story will also be available in the shop for $4.99. Trainers who obtain the end of season special research story by completing the 4 individual special research class. Okay, to be fair, they've talked about this before because we were like, hey, we messed this up with Hoopa. I messed this up with Hoopa. I had to spend the $4.99 because I didn't do what was it, like catch 30 ghost Pokemon, but then the ghost event ended, so there was like 0 ghost Pokemon.
It was like catch Ghost and Dark, and there's that Sableye day that you didn't do.
Yep. Tickets are not refundable. If you so if you go the Mele Island path, you get 2 Poffins, a lure module, 4 lucky eggs, an encounter with a Alolan Raichu, and a Pom-Pom style avatar hat. If you go the Akala Island, you will get incense, 2 incubators, a super incubator, an encounter with Alolan Marowak, and a Pau style Oricoro hat. If you go with Ula, there's a theme here. You get a Glacier Lure, a Magnetic Lure, 4 Incense, an encounter with Alolan Vulpix, and an Oricora Ballet. It's not ballet. I always say ballet. The red one that dances like ballet, but it's not ballet.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Bali? Is it Bali? Is that how you say it? And if you go the Pony Island path, you get a Rocket Radar, 3-star pieces, a premium raid pass, an encounter with a Alolan Executor, and a Sensu-style Oricorio hat. I don't know if the hat alone is convincing anyone to pick a path. I don't know if anyone's like, man, do I love Pom-Pom style Oricorio. I need that hat.
Man, I wish they'd actually just give you the Oricorio.
Yeah. Just give me one of each Oricorio instead of the
No,
very
not
bad
even
hat.
one of each. Just let me pick one that's not my region.
Oh, yeah.
Done. I get one extra Oricorio.
So if you've done all of the ones, you don't have to pay the money, right?
Yes, if you've done all 4 of the free research that appeared, I think I finished it. I actually don't think I have it. The only one I have right now is the Johto Tour one, where I finished the 30 hearts in a day. Now it's like Battle 30 Team Rocket people. And then the other one I have is the Catch 3 Ditto. Good luck with that. I missed out on that event too.
So how do you know?
I can already tell you from the 4 events they said here, I'm going melee because I want the lucky eggs.
Let me see where I am. Okay, Pony Island.
Yeah, I only have Masterwork Research. I have Silent Schemes, which is not this. It's the rocket thing. And April Fool's 2022.
Yeah, I'm on the 2022. Yeah, I mean,
Dang. I got Pony and Ula Ula left.
so you have to finish them before
June 1st?
complete all 4 event researches. Complete all 4 of the event exclusive story research by June 1st to unlock
Should they be
the bonus.
in the list? This should be in the list, right?
Yeah, they'll be in the list. It's
I
what
have
cool.
Melee,
Like
Akala. Yeah, I finished.
there's an Alolan themed collection challenge coming. By the way, you can complete to make progress on your elite collector medal. It'll do 15k XP, 15 Ultra Balls, encounter with Rockruff. Raids will feature Alolan Rattata, Alolan Geodude, Alolan Diglett, Alolan Grimer, Rockruff. 3-star will be Alolan Raichu, Alolan Executor, Alolan Marowak. 5-star will be Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini. There's some cool backpacks coming. There's a Rowlet backpack, a Litten backpack, and a Popplio backpack coming. Those are cool.
But not for free.
Yeah, what I mean, like some designer had to make those and then copy and paste those over and charge 99 cents. This event seems cool. It is cool they have branching paths. It is cool that, like, hey, if you really like hatching eggs, pick the Akala path. Hey, if you really like dropping magnetic lures, no one is that person, pick the Ula Ula path. If you want star pieces and a rocket radar, pick the Pony Island. I think I'm going to go melee. I think the 4 lucky eggs is probably worth it to me.
I never use any of this.
Same.
Well, then pick based off hat. Which hat do you want the most?
The ballet hat.
Yeah, I mean, the Sensu style hat is good. Like, that's the best one of them.
Yes.
But,
I
like,
mean, that's the best Oricorio of them.
Oh, absolutely. But I also would use an Incense and Incubators more than I would use Rocket Radar, a premium raid pass, and 3-star pieces. And I definitely don't need a Alolan Executor. I mean, I'll probably go Akala,
the Pokemon alone I don't need.
I don't. None of these are like, yeah, that's my path, because they're all.
Well, ideally, it shouldn't be that big of a deal because it should be free. So if like you did the things that they want you to do. So,
I mean, I probably have to go Akala just to perhaps get another shiny Alolan Marowak. Like, I don't.
Yeah, you get the incubators. You use those.
I would use the incubators eventually, and I would use the incense eventually.
Speaking of money, trainers. One of the best ways to explore around the world with friends and family is Community Day. Trainers will now be able to purchase and gift tickets to their Pokemon Go friends that have achieved a friendship level of great friends or higher. More tickets, including tickets to the Global Go Fest event, will be available for gifting soon. I mean, that's it.
I'm excited that you can now buy Will and I tickets all the time.
I was just going to say, good thing Greg and I haven't bought tickets yet.
You get to write that stuff off. You get all sorts of benefits that we don't. You can say, hey, these are business expenses.
I don't even purchase my own tickets. Niantic sends me tickets.
Yeah, but now you have you always complain how you can't spend enough money.
Yep.
Well, problem
that
solved. Problem solved.
As somebody who is traveling a lot this summer, I need to spend less money.
Well, these are only $4.
That sounds like a you problem, not a
here's the
me
thing.
problem.
All those times that you yelled at me for not buying a Community Day ticket, and you're like, it's only $1, and I
Yep.
said, well, buy it for me then. Now you can. Put your money where your mouth is, big guy.
This is fine.
It's whatever. I mean, it's a long time coming. Like,
Yeah, there's been situations where my mom is like, I want to do Go Fest. I don't have the money. And it's like, I just wish I could send you a ticket just so you can like stop texting me about this. Here's your Go Fest ticket. Please
Moms
leave me
are the
alone.
worst.
Moving right along here, Pokemon Go and Amazon Prime Gaming team up to bring exciting, their words not mine, exciting rewards to Amazon Prime members.
But I've already canceled my Amazon Prime.
You know, I think I'm going to cancel mine this year.
I mean, I don't use it. So the only
'Cause,
thing I
like-
was using it for was for like Twitch people.
Yeah, Amazon's not the cheapest place anymore.
I mean, we still have it because
that-
Brent
And like
decided to pay
they still
for it.
offer free shipping off like $35 or more.
But I never order anything off Amazon. So for me, that's like extra worthless.
I've been ordering a lot from Best Buy just because like Best Buy is cheaper and they just offer free shipping.
What are you
Also,
getting from Best Buy
local
on a regular
business.
basis?
I'm just buying TVs left and right, tax
Support
write-off.
local
But, I mean-
business.
I mean, My Chemical Romance CD, granted, but other than that, what are you getting from Best Buy?
I was like, I gotta order that My Chemical Romance vinyl. Over the next several months, trainers who are Prime members can claim a bonus of items. So there will be multiple of these, including Pokeballs, Max Revives, and more. Okay, so I want to do one thing. I want to reread that sentence, and then I want to reread the title. Over the next couple months, Prime members can claim a variety of bonuses, including Pokeballs, Max Revives, and more. Title: Pokemon Go and Amazon Gaming are teaming up to bring exciting rewards to Prime members.
I'm
I
excited.
mean, it's every 2 weeks.
I get those max revives, man, that I don't have 175 of.
I'm excited to have things to throw away.
Yeah, but I mean, Pokemon Go is an inventory management game. So every 2 weeks, with May Community Day and Pokemon Go Fest around the corner, these items are to be useful for sure. No need to wait. The first bundle is now. Head over to the Prime Gaming page. If you have questions, go to this link. This is off PokemonGoLive.com. I think the first bundle is what, like 15 Pokeballs, a star piece, and 5 Max Revives or something. It's not great. It's free. I'm not free. If you were paying $107 million for Amazon Prime a year, I don't even know how much it is anymore.
Man, I can't even get skins off that. At least with my League Prime loot, I get skins.
I think Amazon Prime's like $180 a year, isn't it? It's
They
expensive.
recently increased the price, which is what
it's-
was my trigger to cancel my Prime, because I was like, I don't use this, and it's now costs more.
I'm redeeming it now. I've successfully redeemed my Prime offer.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. New social features as well as updates for in-person raids. Trainers.
Trainers, we are bringing you a thing that we want you to be happy about, but we botched it again, so you won't be.
Oh, that's so Greg.
Classic Greg. Today we are announcing new social features to help bring people together to enjoy Pokemon Go. New bonuses for participating in local raids and changes to the in-game item shop. The new social features, some which are based in a separate Niantic app, have been tested over time and will be available in Pokemon Go sometime in the next few months. I'm assuming... Sorry, I want to stop this press release. I'm assuming that they're
You're reading
they're
it.
talking about Ingress.
Yes. You can
And
go.
they're not allowed to say it because I am betting the Pokemon Company is like, do not mention your other games in our.
Wow.
They link new social features in this press release on their page, and you click on it, and it goes, Niantic launches social app experience in closed beta to select Ingress Ancients. Like, it's not even like a trail of breadcrumbs. It's literally 2 breadcrumbs, and you're at the goal.
Why can't they just say Ingress? Why does it have to be a link? Whatever. Our hopes is that these features will make it easier for trainers to communicate with each other, discover new communities, and enjoy local raid battles. We know that this feature is much needed, and we look forward to making the social experiments. That's what the word should be. Social experience even better over time. As of this month, Mega Energy and Rare Candy XL are available as rewards for completing local raid battles, making it easier to evolve and strengthen your Pokemon. Also, starting in May 23rd, the One Pokecoin event box will no longer include remote raid passes and will instead feature a rotating array of items. Trainers all over the world have helped. Okay, the last part is like, actually, the last part doesn't matter. To support players who have difficulty reaching gyms, we will continue to work on solutions such as tools for community leaders to organize local events and faster approval for new gyms. We look forward to adventuring together in person. Pokemon Go team.
So that means scan all those things, the gyms, so that they can be removed. The bad ones can be removed, and the good
scanning
ones
does not remove gyms.
Yes, it
Niantic has clarified this.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what they did.
Sure.
Look, they cannot be trusted. They literally cannot be trusted because they left things out of this press release.
Okay, so we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, that if Niantic wants me to walk to a Rockruff and spend 20 minutes, 10 minutes to walk to the Rockruff, do the Rockruff, come back, versus I'll just spend the $1, I'll get the same thing, but I'll save 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a different argument than somebody who's like, hey, I'm going to spend 90 minutes to play Go today and then go out and play Go. I'm talking about the situation where, like, I don't have a lot of time. I may be, like, on my lunch break. Maybe it's raining out. Obviously, like, there's differences in that situation. Like, I try to fit, personally, an hour of Go in a day. And that's mostly just walking.
That's a lot.
Well, I'm also playing Pikmin.
Good heavens!
I like walking.
I walk too. I'm not playing Go for the entire time.
Look, you just get the Pokeball Plus Go and you press the button and you read Twitter.
That's not playing Go. That's in a button.
Nah, because what I do is I open up Go and I go, oh, there's like a gym over here that I can put a Pokemon in. That's what I'm gonna walk to. And then I walk to there, and then I open it up again. I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk to this gym next. So
we have different definitions of what playing is at this point. Because walking with the app closed isn't playing.
That's the way I play.
I'm not walking with it. I don't have Pokemon Go open the entire time. Like, I catch the 2 Pokemon, or I'm like, all these Pokemon are garbage. I'll let the Pokeball Plus clean up. And then I'll check Twitter or text and then switch back.
Too much work.
Look, I don't want to look at nature. I just want to walk through it. So Mega Energy and Rare Candy XL will be available for rewards for completing local raid battles. I think this is a great step.
Yes.
So if instead, so I can spend the $1 to remote raid into Rockruff. And I can get my 20 minutes back. Or I can say, well, the Rockruff is free if I can walk to it because I get the free raid pass. But also I'm going to get XL candy. There's maybe an asterisk there of how much that's going to drop if it's like 0 to 1 or 0 to 5. And I'm going to get Mega Candy. So is it worth me walking there now? Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone freaked out that like Niantic said, "Hey, we're slight." I'm pretty sure their exact words were, "We're slightly nerfing rare candy and raids," and then it was like no one noticed the difference. I actually don't even know why they said it.
I mean,
Because
it's
people
weird
got upset.
'cause they
Somebody
decided
would have
to be
noticed.
transparent there, but not transparent about this one.
Yeah, so the transparency is they did say we're removing the one coin box to no longer include remote raid passes, and then they got rid of the discounted remote raid savings. So a remote raid pass is 100 coins, which is actually a discounted price. It's not supposed to be 100 coins. And then the remote raid pass bundle was $2.50, so you're saving 50 cents. And they changed that to $3. So they hiked the price up 50 cents.
Well, they just got rid of like any reason to buy 3 because it's the same
there's
price
no
as
bulk
buying
discount.
1 3 times. There's no discount
yeah.
for no reason other than cuz.
Dissuade people from buying remote raid passes and have the in-person experience instead.
I mean, just get rid of the
I guess
bundle.
that's the reason. What Will said.
Just get rid of the 3. Get rid of the 3 bundle then, because it's
Oh, but then I have to hit buy 3 times. No,
yeah. But if you
let me buy.
if you want people to not purchase raid passes, make it more difficult to do so. Like changing it to 300, but still offering a bundle of 3 is a total mixed message of what you're trying to do.
But it still costs more. It's just saving you a
but
few clicks.
If their goal, which
it doesn't
I think
cost more,
is,
it's the same cost.
it's the same cost.
Well, no, it costs more than $250 for
Right.
3.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
If your goal is to stop people from using remote raid passes as much, which they are, then get rid of the bundle completely. Because it's not a price savings, and you're just making it easier for people to buy 3, which is the action that you don't want them to take.
I was gonna say is bulk
Make them
star
buy
pieces
it
or
3
bulk
times in a row,
incense.
because people are going to be frustrated by that experience because they can't buy it in bulk and rely less on remote raid passes.
I think the cost is more of an issue than the number of clicks as a disincentive.
I mean, it's both. But you can underline your purpose.
Here's the thing: is removing the button the problem? This is the same company that can't even toggle a shiny on and off, so they're like, it's easier to change the price and leave that button there.
Yeah,
versus,
we've already got
we
that
know.
entry programmed in the
Yes.
shopping cart. It's easier to change the price than to actually remove that from the 1,000 tables that it's recorded in.
I am actually that's probably the actual thing is like we can't remove it before GoFest because something's going to break, and we can't break our store. I don't think there's any way to adjust the remote raid pass thing because the hardcore player base is so invested in raiding and spending money, and they like spending money there. Well, this is maybe look, there's a player base that is very adamant about Pokemon Go. They like the raids. They like to get the hundreds. They like to get the shinies. They like to remote in. There are literally Patreons and Discords dedicated to people paying to be in that Discord to then constantly raid with other people. Like these things exist. Those people are probably going to be the loudest. So when I say I don't think there's any way to go back on the remote raid pass things, I have from Pokemon Go Live, April 15th in 2020, some things Niantic said about remote raid passing. It says, with remote raid passing, an upcoming new item, you'll be able to join a raid battle that you can see on the nearby screen or that you can tap on the menu. Only one remote raid pass will be required to join a raid. You will be able to hold a limited amount of remote raid passes at the time. 20 trainers can join in with the same battle with a limited number of trainers using a remote raid pass. Remote raid passes will... Oh, that doesn't matter. At launch, trainers battling in remote raids will have the same attack power as trainers who are battling at the raid location in person. At a later time, the attack power of trainers battling in remote raids will be reduced. Afterwards, a trainer battling at the raid location in person will have a higher attack power than a trainer battling remotely. We will be making adjustments to this feature over time, including the number of changes to trainers who can join remotely, the ability to invite friends regardless of location. So they could do that too. The mention of the adjustment of attack power. We will announce changes via official channels. Please stay tuned for updates. They also say at launch, remote raid passes will be able to buy individually at the special discounted price of 100 Pokecoins. So they said over 2 years ago that 100 Pokecoins for a remote raid pass is discounted, and that there will be an attack power nerf. Does that make this today any better? No.
No.
But the second they change the remote raid power, people are going to be also upset.
It is the just because you gave yourself an out doesn't mean after 2.5 years of having a global experience and being able to go with your friends that making those changes aren't going to make people angry. Just because I said, everything in half price books is half price, but at some point we could change it to full price books, doesn't mean people are going to be like, well, I'll keep shopping there because you warned me 2 years ago that you could change the price on me at any time.
Greg, there's no other bookstore.
I mean, it's madness that they're like, oh, well, any company that does that, well, we warned you 2 years ago that we could do this at any time, so therefore you shouldn't be upset by it. Okay, that's how that works.
No, they got to do it sneakily, like the cookie companies that slowly take out 2 cookies per year.
Oh yeah,
and raise the price by 5 cents per year.
New packaging, new smaller diet versions of Doritos where you're paying the same amount of money for less.
Those are Diet Ritos, is what they're called.
Cool Ranch Diet Ritos are my favorite.
Tritos. Oh, I am an advertising genius.
Come
on. Diet Tritos.
You missed your calling.
Yeah. I don't... It seems like Niantic is conflicted between liking the revenue stream that remote raid passes are coming in versus the we want people to play the other parts of our game.
I mean, it honestly feels like every decision that they make is an attempt to justify their stated mission, and the bottom line is money is the bottom mission. So they're like, they can't really lead into it. We just want to make money. But so instead, it's like, we want people to explore and be friends and give us money. It's just the same. Like anytime people pay money to
their
avoid,
game is free to play. They do want money to pay you to.
But anytime anybody pays to skip your experience, it's not a fun experience.
True.
I mean, like you can pay to get Pokeballs, and you are getting ripped off.
Oh yeah,
but like.
Yeah, but the real players never pay for Pokeballs.
I don't know about that. I don't. There could be very.
Then those aren't real players.
Like
name that logical fallacy, kids.
I have never paid for Pokeballs. There have been instances where there has been one time where I was playing at home, and it was like the St. Louis Makeup Day event where we were supposed to go to St. Louis. It got canceled. And I did run out of Pokeballs at the end of that event. And then I think I ended opening up like 20 gifts, and I got like 100 more Pokeballs from it. And I was like, do I have to buy Pokeballs? Because I was like streaming on Twitch, and I was like, I can't just get up and leave. And even if I did get up and leave, I only have like 2 stops near my house at the time. But like I could easily go to downtown Minneapolis or any of the parks in Minneapolis and spend 10 minutes and get 200 some Pokeballs. But again, it goes back to that Rockruff situation. Is like, do I spend 20 minutes to get 200 Pokeballs? Or I don't even know how much 200 Pokeballs is in the store. It's not great. It's probably like $3 or something.
How much is it? I have it open. 100 Pokeballs is 460 coins?
Yeah.
There you go. Scam
200 Pokeballs is 800 coins? Madness.
But I would assume that it's priced that way because they don't want you to do that. Like, who... $8 for 200 Pokeballs is actually outrageous, but that's how it's always been.
Who is buying stickers?
Oh, I buy stickers every now and then.
That I believe. I don't even look at stickers, and he's out here spending money on stickers.
They're cute.
Why are you buying stickers?
Why would you buy stickers in real life? They don't do anything. You slap it on your bumper and then whatever.
The question still stands. Why would you do it in real life, and why would you do it in game?
Have
you just
you
said
never,
you would
like-
do it.
Have you never sent a letter to somebody and like put
Yes.
stickers in it or like
No.
decorate the outside?
No.
I have a hand and multicolored pencils.
But I have a buddy who is into real life stickers, and whenever you look at anything he owns, it's covered in stickers. And I'm like, well, great, you've personalized that. But digital ones?
Digital
No.
stickers?
No.
Why are you buying digital stickers? This is like
I
your
almost,
Destiny.
I'd
this is your
almost would be
Destiny
willing
album
to pay
problem.
a subscription price to Niantic to say, please remove stickers from my
Now you're gonna be
postcard
like,
thing.
why are you paying for digital clothing? You can't do anything with it.
Exactly.
Why
Don't-
are you paying for digital clothing? You can't
Because
do
it makes
anything
me
with it.
happy, Greg.
Maybe you need to get your happiness evaluated. You're happy for the wrong things.
I mean,
Why are you
are
buying digital raid passes?
I-
You either go away after you use them.
I will just make this one point. You had a bunch of digital assets in Destiny 1, and that ended in sadness, and you
It did.
refuse to learn the lesson.
The lesson in stickers is like, I'm sending Greg a postcard with a premium sticker that I bought. It's what is it? I think it's like 25 stickers for 40 cents or something like that. I think that's what it is. I've bought stickers like twice, and I bought the little like the Pikachu that was like squirting water and was like squee. It was very cute. Anyways, I don't. I think that the remote raid pass thing. I think that the remote raid pass thing is going to continue to be this ongoing issue, at least on social media, of people complaining.
True.
I think it's going to happen regardless. I can't imagine though that the majority of Pokemon Go players are just buying remote raid passes left and right. I can imagine that there are people that highly rely on that free raid pass and they do their one free raid a week, or they're like, I'm going to do my one Tapu Fini. I got my Tapu Fini. I'm never going to do another Tapu Fini again because I don't care about IVs or I don't care about CP. They can't be shiny. Or like I'm missing Rayquaza. When Rayquaza comes back, I'm going to use my free remote raid pass. Okay, now I have Rayquaza for the Dex. But I would assume that the majority of remote raid pass users are whales that are just burning through them to get perfect IVs or to get the shiny. But even at that point, like, let's say, there would be the player that is, there would be the player that would be like, I just want it for the Dex. There would be the player that I just want it for the Dex, but I also just want the shiny as well. And then there would be the player is like, I want it for the Dex, I want the shiny, I want the 100% IV, I want the shiny at 100% IV. Or even there's probably also the player is, I want the one that is like 0, 15, 15 for Go Battle League.
Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of variables.
But the main issue is that the people who care about remote raid passes will be vocal when there are changes, and the people who don't care will continue to not say anything.
Right, because they don't care.
So the only thing that gets noticed are the people who are talking.
Yeah, that didn't fix the incense issue, which arguably maybe affected more people.
I mean, I think remote raid passes affects a lot of people who are in areas, like they said, in rural areas, who have to rely on other people inviting them to things
Yeah.
because they have no other option. And I think that is a big swath of people
Yeah.
that aren't maybe necessarily the people that are spending the most money, but it is one of the only ways that they can feel like they are included in this game. And when you take away opportunities for them to earn easy coins, because again, earning coins relies on the free way is defending gyms, which if you're in a rural area, you don't got a lot, so you're relying on that, or you're spending what money you have into the game to try to enjoy people with your friends. Also, they're stressing a local experience on a global game. Like, it's been global now for 2.5 years because we had no choice. So it's like you inadvertently are hurting a bunch of people, and having a throwaway line like, we are going to try to get things better for y'all, when? What does that look like?
Well, what does better mean? That's the question.
For players who have difficulty reaching gyms, we'll continue to work on solutions such as tool for community leaders to organize local events. You could be the only like, you're in a rural area. How many people in your area are playing Pokemon Go? And faster approval for new gyms, but your gym requirements, your stock requirements are incredibly specific. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, what am I going to do? Here's a multicolored stalk of corn. I think everybody should visit.
I don't think they're too
like
specific. It does take a long time to approve, but that's just like the Wayfarer thing, right? Like that's not specifically a problem with Pokemon Go. That is like Wayfarer is pulling.
But it has to be a local attraction that people would want to visit, an important piece of art.
I think that stuff is easy to find though. Like I have submitted tons of stops, and some of them would sit in the Wayfarer queue for 6 months.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to convince. Again, we're talking about rural areas that don't have a lot. So, what are they picking? What are they picking that meets those requirements and then sits in a queue for 7 months? And only to be like, people look at it and go, well, I don't know what that is. I don't know where it is. It doesn't look like art. So, no, and have it denied? Like, what does that look like? Because I've gone into the Wayfair queue, and I'm like, I'll just approve everything because it all looks like art to me. I guess.
Sure. If you live on a 700-acre farm by yourself, probably not a lot to submit.
What do you think rural means?
I know, exactly.
Like, what do you think rural is? These are towns that have literally a bar, a gas station, and 15 houses, and the rest is farmland.
Yeah, and the bar could be a stop. I've been to plenty of bars that are stops, or not stops, but gyms. Like there was a bar across my street in Milwaukee that was a gym.
Could be. Like, they need to spell this out. Like, what, for rural people, will they accept?
But okay, but what I am saying is this is not a problem of Pokemon Go. This is a problem of all Niantic's games, which is a Wayfarer thing.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
What they're saying here is we're trying to make Wayfarer better without saying we need to make Wayfarer better. But Wayfarer relies on people. It's community built. Like Niantic, it trusts that people. It's like the Wikipedia thing. Like Niantic is trusting people to submit stuff and to then approve stuff properly. And then you have situations like are happening in India, where a bunch of people will band together in the community and put 500 gyms in a street, and then just go crazy until somebody reports that, and then Niantic has to clean it up. Which
it feels like there should be a better way for them to control their game.
Again, it's supposed to be community built, but that's what Wayfarer is. They don't.
I know, but if we've learned anything from the 4 billion years the internet have been around, from Amazon reviews, from any community user based, they are notoriously bad and unreliable if you don't have solid moderation.
I think this is moderating a worldwide game is hard. How many employees do they have for like Wayfair alone? And what are those Wayfair people doing?
They
How many
make
are just
billions of enough dollars
Right.
to hire more employees.
Like,
I don't know if that argument completely works because yeah, sure, Pokemon Go makes a lot of money, but how much of that money is directly going to TP the Pokemon Company, and how much of that money is going to Niantic?
like
Who knows? How many people
That
are you going to
doesn't-
throw at? How many people are you going to throw at Wayfair and get that problem fixed?
But
solved?
what
At
you're
that
saying
point-
is that Niantic can't put together a budget proposal that says we're seeing this deleterious effect on our player base. We need to hire 10 more staff at this budget
10
point.
more staff is not going to fix.
100 more staff at this
Whatever
budget
it is.
point. And TPCI says, yes, we agree that's having a deleterious effect, or no, we don't agree, and then the decision is made. I mean, I ain't got no answers. They haven't made me president of Niantic
Nope.
yet.
Wayfair seems to be its own problem, and it just happens to affect Pikmin and Go and Ingress and whatever.
Well,
I mean,
community sourcing anything is always a problem because people will game
Right.
whatever
Yeah, and
thing
when
is.
you
sure,
have-
sure, like the India situation where a bunch of gyms appear on a street, like this is a thing that happens every couple months, where like I'm not exaggerating, like 40 gyms will appear on a single street, and then it'll get reported on the Sulph Road, and then
Which
the
is
next day it will
extra
just
dumb, because if you can tell me that a company out here is saying that they can have artificial intelligence that can tell my emotional whatever from the video and audio of a Zoom phone call, but they can't have an artificial intelligence say, hey, wait, 40 gyms just popped up in a 1 mile
Well, again,
strip.
it's community built, so those people in that community have submitted the gyms and then approved each other's gyms.
But Google can't have a super intelligence. It's Google.
Yeah,
They already know my
I mean, it is wild to be like, here's a product that affects all of their games, but they fix it, I guess. I don't know. They shouldn't do anything with it. It's a community problem. Like, it affects all of your games. You would think in a game where you claim you want to build a community, you would have a better way of dealing with this. And to say like, oh, well, we don't know how much money goes here. No, we don't. And it doesn't matter, because that's what running a business is. Like, it is up to them to look at a problem that is affecting their games across the board. Everything they make negatively.
Do you really think Niantic employees aren't doing anything with Wayfair? Do you think they're just sitting there being like, well, we're waiting for Joe to approve that stop at Mayfair Mall for the last 6 months. Joe, when are you going to do that? Like, I am sure they are working. I have submitted stuff at Mayfair Mall, and it didn't get approved.
Okay, but
and then I
back to
submitted it again.
Go back to the original problem. They said community leaders can do whatever to nominate raid things, and we're saying if it takes 8 months to get a raid location cleared, how does that fix anything? The community members are going to say, "Yeah, we're going to have a raid here in a year."
In a year.
You know, hope you can. You're still around.
No, what I'm saying is the problem is I have gone to Mayfair Mall. I have submitted 2 murals. I'm one on each end of the mall. They got denied. It took 3 months. They sat in the system for 3 months. They got denied. I went back. I submitted them again. I was like, maybe the picture wasn't good. Maybe the title wasn't good. A month later, they got denied. 2 months before I moved from Milwaukee, and a year after I submitted these murals, both are now Pokestops. Somebody else submitted them, and somebody else approved them. Like unfortunately, that's part of the it's both
Well,
good
yeah.
and bad.
But that's
because,
what I was saying before. You have people in these rural areas that are going to nominate the one thing in there, and somebody's going to come through who has no idea about the area and be like, well, that doesn't even look like what you're saying it is. Denied. If you want to fix these problems and build these community things, you need to put more resources towards it. It's not saying that they don't have. Nobody's saying they don't do any work on it. The thing is they aren't doing enough, and is affecting all of their games across the board.
But you guys are acting like hiring 100 people just fixes this.
No, we're not.
No,
I
we're just
worked
saying
on the
potential solutions. We don't know what the actual answer
we're
is.
I worked on the Apple Maps team when I worked for Apple. Unfortunately, Apple Maps is garbage. Still is kind of to this day. But when Apple Maps first came out, it wasn't great. And one of my jobs was to verify with Google Maps whether or not this street or this turn existed. And they would assign you areas. But I would then get areas like Texas, and they would be like, all right, here's Google Maps, here's Apple Maps. Is this turn correct? And I would be like, well, it says that on Google Maps. I've never been here. I don't actually know if that still exists. This is the problem with Wayfair. If you hire 100 more people to be like, hey, does this Pokestop exist in Duluth, Minnesota? The person could be like, yeah, maybe. But I've never been there. That's the whole point.
So
yeah.
the way we're looking at the problem is a little different. Let's look at a different technology, right? Can we all agree that Tesla self-driving does not work?
Yes.
Self-driving in Tesla, they say we have self-driving cars. We know it does not work.
We know
correct?
It doesn't work. Correct.
So now what we're saying is Niantic is Tesla, and Niantic as Tesla is saying we're going to have a pizza delivery service based on our self-driving technology. And what Greg and Will are saying is fix your self-driving technology before you promise us a pizza delivery service. Don't promise us that community leaders can host events or nominate events or create events in a location when your location nominating service does not work. I don't care if they hire 1,000 people. I don't care if they get a crazy supercomputer that can do it. You have to fix the first part before you promise the second part.
And before you take away one of the only solutions that exists, which is cheap raid passes for people in those areas.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't take it away. It's still there. It's still 100 coins.
It costs more money. They took away the $1, the one coin thing. It's not in the event stuff.
I don't know if it's worth. I've been thinking about this as we've been recording the show. We've spent 30 minutes talking about 50 cents. We've literally spent 30 minutes talking about 50 cents.
This is what we do.
Yes, the 50 cents adds up, but it's not the end of the world. That's like going to a restaurant and being like, everything's so expensive here, so I'm not going to tip. Well, if you don't want to tip, then make food at home. It's part of the experience. It's $100 to do a raid. Sure, if you did 3 raids, it's $250, but it's $1 to do a raid. As
people who are comfortable with the salaries that they get, that is not a conversation I feel comfortable signing on to.
If I don't know, I'm under the impression if 50 cents, if we spent 30 minutes talking about 50 cents, yes, it sucks. Yeah, it's upsetting, but don't play Pokemon Go then. If you can't.
But we've been saying for a while, don't play Pokemon Go if you're in rural areas. This is just another nail in that coffin.
But the thing is, it's going to go up from 100 Pokecoins. I wouldn't be surprised if remote raid passes cost $2.
Oh yeah, they are get out now, people. If you're in a rural area, if you rely on these things, if again, it is very difficult for you to get out of your house, even though you live in a city, this game is no longer willing to support you. Get out now.
It's the fundamental rule of relationships. If your partner makes it clear that they don't want good things for you, leave the relationship.
Get
out. I didn't know what we were at for time. We will be right back. And we are back from our break. Okay, I'm going to say the words Pokemon Go, but this is regarding the trading card game, not...
I get you. I understand what you're saying.
Pokemon Go expansion. More iconic and powerful Pokemon revealed. The Pokemon TCG Pokemon Go expansion is supposed to drop on July 1st. From powerful, legendary, and mythical Pokemon to very sneaky Ditto, the first Pokemon Go expansion products will be available soon. We have Melmetal VMAX. Mythical Pokemon Melmetal arrives to the Pokemon TCG in VMAX form, first time ever. Its powerful G-Max Juggernaut attack lives up to its name, doing 160 damage plus 60 more damage for additional energy attached, with a maximum of 280 damage for 5 energy attached. It also appears as impressive as its Gigantamax Pokemon, even though Gigantamax Pokemon currently do not appear in the Pokemon Go game. I don't know why Pokemon.com needed to like state that, but
Oh, because of the whole dugong thing,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
right? And that's what it is. It's like you can't even mention anything Pokemon related without disqualifying.
The classic legendary birds trio comes to Pokemon Go expansion after being used for inspiration for the emblems of the 3 teams of Pokemon Go game. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres all have powerful abilities that represent their 2 strengths. Each of their abilities, Ice Symbol, Lightning Symbol, and Flare Symbol, respectively, power up their basic Pokemon abilities of the same type, causing their attacks to do 10 more damage. This affects stacks when multiple Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres are in play too. These last 2 cards are actually the coolest ones. I don't know if you guys saw the little like video that the Japanese
Yeah, I saw
Pokemon Twitter
that.
tweeted.
Yeah.
Bidoof pauses on a stone in the middle of a rushing water, not quite relaxing, but quite on guard. But when the Pokemon evolves into Bibarel, the action gets more intense. Of course, you have to first look past Smeargle hopping in front of Bibarel's big moment. Bibarel's reassuring Dam ability stops your opponents from using abilities, item cards, or supporter cards to the discard pile from your deck, and helping to keep cards in hand. And then finally, now here's something you don't see every day, and if you're not looking closely, you might miss it. To find Ditto in the Pokemon Go expansion, look for other Pokemon that can have a layer you peel off for the transformed Pokemon underneath. Note that the Pokemon that rests on top of Ditto can't be used competitively in official matches, only Ditto itself. In fact, you'll find a little Ditto icon placed in the typical tournament registration mark. So the Ditto card is cool. I tweeted a clip of it, but it looks like a Bidoof card, but it's like a sticker that you peel off of the card.
And then ruin the card for all time, and all of its investment value is gone.
Yeah, I'm assuming you keep the sticker on, and then you put it next to Ancient Mew.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Seal it in the vault.
How do you PSA grade a sticker?
I'm curious of the what is the word? The stickosity of
The stickiness?
the sticker to the card.
Adhesiveness?
Yes. Because if there's any company that's really good at like adhesiveness / packaging, it's Apple. Like when you like take off the cellophane or like open the box or like remove the screen protector thingy, like it's all like Apple spends millions on making sure that that's like the perfect pull or the perfect open.
I mean, fundamentally, it's very rare that you would remove an adhesive from an Apple product and have that it tears the paint off the cardboard experience.
Yeah,
the box stays good.
But we know that the what is that company called? The company they just bought that prints the cards. We know they can't even print these cards centered.
Oh dear.
So I'm curious of how this adhesive thing will work. It's a very cool concept. I'm really excited to like see it in person. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious what the stickiness is going to be. I really do like the Smeargle in front of Bibarel. I think that's a really nice Pokemon Go touch of Smeargle photobombing the card.
I mean, the secret of adhesion is less the adhesive used and more the surface that it is being adhered to.
Yes.
Adhesives 101. Take my college course.
So, I'm trying to read I don't understand, except for Pokemon with a rule box. What is a rule box? Is there
What
an
are we looking
example
at?
on this page?
Yeah, read what's the full sentence that you're trying
It says,
to read?
this Pokemon can use the attacks of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile, except for a Pokemon with a rule box. Pokemon V, Pokemon GX, etc. have rule boxes.
Yeah, a rule box is it's usually at the bottom of the card, and it's outlined with like a red line, and those are very specific, like one-time use moves, and so there's.
No. A rule box says something like, if you knock out a VMAX Pokemon, it's 3 prizes, not 1, or something like that, where there's a special rule that goes for that card. Like there's those Pokemon where you can only have 1 copy of the Pokemon in the deck.
Do y'all have like an example of one so I can look at it? 'Cause literally I'm
Yes,
confused.
it would be like this is awful for the audio. So I have Origin Form Dialga V-Star, and I'll hold it up to the camera here. So see how the bottom move is boxed out? So Ditto cannot use the move Star Chronos, which is 220 damage, because it's a V-Star power. It's a specific rule applying to Origin Form Dialga.
But what it's talking about is what's under that in the yellow, where it says V-Star. What does that yellow
it says
say?
V-Star power.
What I'm confused about is the wording.
No, look, but hold that card back up there, sir. Greg, do you see where his thumb is? There's a little yellow, and it has like an additional rule in text printed. What does that rule in text printed say?
That says, if knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards.
That is a rule box.
So what this is saying is, the way I'm reading this is, it can't use attacks from Pokemon that have a rule box.
From cards that have that little box in the lower right-hand
nothing
corner.
on that card that you just showed Ditto could use.
Correct.
Well, this is a V-Star Pokemon. It can only use attacks from basic Pokemon.
Right,
So
but I mean...
yeah.
But like if it said basic or whatever at the top, but if it has a rule box at the end, it can't use any attacks from that card.
Just that card is off limits if it has that little thing in the lower right-hand corner.
I'm glad we got there.
Well, wording matters. Like, as a
that's
Magic
why
person, where I read some of these cards, I'm like, what the heck are you
That's
talking
why,
about?
Overquill in the TCG is called Hisuian Overquill. Even though Overquill can only be Hisuian, they have to have the word Hisuian there because of rules. Otherwise, people would be like, well, the Quillfish can evolve. Regular Quillfish can evolve into Overquill because there's no. And then it's like, no, you have to only Hisuian. Yeah, it's
Right. Yep.
silly. Okay, Pokemon Home is here.
It is.
I said this earlier. I think I said this the other day when I was streaming on Twitch. Man, the Pokemon Company is one of. I know we look back up. Beep 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 beep. We spent 30 minutes talking about Niantic's communication over 50 cents. I want to remind everyone we had a 30-minute conversation regarding 50 cents.
Why does that matter?
Let him proceed.
We've
Move
had
forward.
30-minute conversations about no sense.
That's true. I'm saying maybe it's not Niantic. Maybe it's just the Pokemon Company.
I mean, the Pokemon Company is wild. Let's be
because
real.
their communication, the Pokemon companies. Let's not pretend. We all know Niantic is bad communication, but the Pokemon Company's communication is also incredibly terrible. I want to lay out an example. They announced this game called Pokemon Sleep before the pandemic.
I don't know her.
They also, at the same time, announced a game called Detective Pikachu for Switch. Still, we know nothing about these two games. last week they put out a press release, an official press release saying Pokemon Home 2.0 is coming in the upcoming weeks. Those were the exact words. Upcoming weeks. Then 4 days later, not even a full week, 4 days later, they're like, in 2 days it will be ready. How do you go from announcing 2 games and then not talking about them for 2+ years to then putting out a press release saying, in a couple weeks we are updating this, and then being like, nah, it's actually less than a week. We're just, it's here now. It's in like 2 days. Like, why didn't you say later this week? Why didn't you say in a couple days? Why didn't you say like by the end of the month? There's so many different ways you could have phrased that.
Because they learned their lesson from Pokemon Sleep and Detective Pikachu on the Switch. They were like, oh, wait, we promised that. We couldn't deliver.
They got it within the time frame.
True.
What time frame?
A couple of weeks.
Within a couple of weeks.
Within a couple of weeks. It was within a couple of weeks. Like, that's like the least of our concerns.
It's just their communication is so all over the place. Like, yeah, in one instance you're like, we're working on these games. No, they're gone. And then in another instance you're like, well, maybe in the next like 2 months this will be updated. Nah, it's here now. It's right tomorrow.
I mean, Ilka's on the ball, right?
It's just, this company is wild when it comes to communication. Somebody on the Pokemon Home team has a calendar, and they were ready for it.
Janine.
But also, I mean, have you noticed, because this has come to mind, we're like 6 months out from Scarlet and Violet, and
we have
nothing. I'm pretty sure with Sword and Shield, we're at the point where we had
we knew the plot line of Sword and Shield by this point.
We know, but we had Galarian Farfetch'd scooting around the screen at this point.
I think we also had Obstagoon at this point for Sword and Shield, and like Yamper and stuff. There was
I'm
a
excited
handful
for our
of...
next 24 hours stare at a beach stream for one Pokemon to come out of the water and go back in.
Having said that, let me also say, and I know you guys don't share this, from my perspective, I'd much rather them say absolutely nothing more until the day the games come out, so that we can be wonderfully surprised by everything.
I mean, I don't mind that. I would actually probably put money down that we would get an announcement relatively soon, as it's almost time for Nationals, and then Nationals leads into Worlds. So,
although there are no Nationals anymore, it's all Internationals.
Yeah, Internationals. Sorry. Which I think that the North America International Tournament is a week after the Milwaukee tournament, and the Milwaukee tournament is in less than a month at this point. So, yeah, I would wager to bet we would get something in the next month based on the International North America tournament. I can't imagine they're saving everything for Worlds, but in the past, like, when we were at the DC World Tournament, that's when they showed all the competitive stuff. They showed, like, room service and, like, you can't fake out a Dynamax Pokemon and all that stuff, which was, like, really exciting. And then, like, at another Worlds, they showed Crabrawler. And then at another Worlds, I think they showed, like, a new Mega. They do show stuff at Worlds when it comes to this stuff, but usually by then we have a trailer or two before it even gets to Worlds. But hey, look, they did a lot more promotion for Sun and Moon. Some people loved that, some people hated that compared to Sword and Shield. And they tried to do a good job at keeping everything a secret for X and Y, and that didn't really work out at all. Especially with that one dude who was like posting on Instagram, and then his Instagram magically got deleted. And
Oop. And they got sued and taken to jail, and now they slave on the Wayfarer app trying to approve gyms.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. I think they were Canadian too. I don't even think they were. Do they got jails in Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, they have jails everywhere. Like, that's not even a question.
New Pokemon Home update to add recent Pokemon game compatibility. A new update to Pokemon Home version 2.0 will be arriving soon. It's here.
It's here.
it adds support for Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. These games will be mutually compatible with Pokemon Home. You will be able to deposit and withdraw to and each of these games. For example, you'll be able to take a Pikachu you caught in Sword and Shield and move it into Legends or Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Please note that Pokemon not originally caught in those games may change a certain moves, level, type of Pokeball they were caught into. Until now, Pokemon Home, the Pokedex in Pokemon Home was only the national dex, but starting in 2.0, the Pokedex for each game will be added. Pokemon in your boxes in Pokemon Home will be registered to their respective games of the Pokedex after it is installed. Pokemon that aren't in the box after the 2.0 update, or those that have been traded away, will not be registered. You can obtain stickers to edit your profile, achievements for completing certain conditions. Strange Balls. When a Pokemon is caught in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Sword, or Shield, transferred into Legends, they will appear in a Strange Ball. Likewise, if a Pokemon is caught in Legends and transferred to Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, they will also appear in a Strange Ball. When transferred to Pokemon Sword or Shield, they will appear in standard Pokeballs. So there was some miscommunication last week because that press release was very non-technical and vague. Yep. There is clarification now with thank you to people on Twitter that posted the clarification. We actually now know officially because the app is updated.
It's here. It is here.
So we'll clarify here on the show, obviously, for people who did not see those tweets or are not informed. The Strange Ball is purely cosmetic. You can't actually have a Pokemon in a Strange Ball, which is the confusing part. If the Pokemon is caught in a Jet Ball, I'll use Jet Ball for example, in Arceus, and moved to Sword and Shield, it will appear. Well, in Sword and Shield, it will appear in a Pokeball, and in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, it will appear in a Strange Ball. But in Pokemon Home, it will say and still be in a Jet Ball. So if you take a Jet Ball Pikachu, move it to Pokemon Home, it will say Jet Ball. If you move it to Sword and Shield, it will say Pokeball. If you move it back to Home, it will go back to Jet Ball. And if you move the Jet Ball back to Legends, it will still be a Jet Ball. So the worry of, is it going to get a Pokeball because it touched Sword and Shield is not a worry. It just looks as a Pokeball because Sword and Shield can't. Sword and Shield's apparently not getting updated.
Apparently not. It's done. It's dead. It's a dead game. Go get your shoulders.
They didn't do any origin marks. There's no Strange Ball, even though that seems pretty simple to implement. Sorry to there's still probably 7 people listening to this podcast being like, I'm waiting for those last 200 Pokemon. It ain't happening. I'm sorry.
They're going into Violet.
So that worry is cleared up. You can safely take your Legends Pokemon, move it to Sword and Shield, move it back, and you're not going to lose the Pokeball it's in. The other thing is the Alpha Mark. The Pokemon Home did update, so if you caught like an Alpha Spirit Tomb and you move it into Pokemon Home, there will actually be the Alpha symbol in Pokemon Home. And then if you move it to Sword and Shield, it will appear regular. Move it back to Pokemon Home, the Alpha Mark will still be there. Move it back to Legends, it will still be Alpha. So you're good there. There is you can take an Alpha Mime Jr. I saw this on Twitter. Alpha Mime Jr., move it into Sword and Shield, evolve it to a Mr. Rhyme, move it to Pokemon Home, and have an Alpha Mr. Rhyme that will forever live in Pokemon Home because you can no longer move it back to Legends to see that it's Alpha.
But it may be an Alpha in Scarlet Violet if Mr. Rhyme is in Scarlet Violet.
Yeah,
that's true.
Violet.
That's true.
Can I?
It won't be.
Make one statement to. I want to make a statement to some of the many commenters that we had on our last program because I made the mistake of reading some commentary.
Oh no, bad, but bad.
I think the only way that I want to phrase it in a gentle and polite way And I just want you to try to listen and ingest the words that I'm saying.
I don't do that.
I know you don't. But I think Greg will understand with compassion and kindness that these words are coming from my mouth. Just because something worked some way previously does not guarantee or mean that it will work that way the next time.
Correct.
That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Just because they did it that way the last time doesn't mean they're going to do it that way the next time.
Yeah, this is, I recently talked about that on the bonus podcast with Bobby. Where
I don't listen to those. I'm not a premium subscriber, so I don't know what you say up on those things.
But that was a thing, and I brought up Monster Hunter and how from Generations Ultimate to World, they changed so many mechanics.
Very
and
true.
Monster Hunter fans were upset because, like, hey, that's not how it used to be.
But what's funny too is like Monster Hunter changes mechanics with literally every generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of the Final Fantasy series
Final
and how
Fantasy
many
changes
times
all the time.
they change. Like 15 is so different than 9. That's so different than 12. That's
So different than 1. I mean, yeah.
I'm glad
While you can look at past performance as a predictor of future, it is not a guarantee, especially with the Pokemon Company.
It's interesting that Home is working.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the data miners, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was a hot mess code-wise because it was built in Unity. And Sword and Shield, Legends, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, etc. was all built using Game Freak's in-house engine. And now there were people when I made a video explaining the data miner tweets just to be like, this is the dumbed down explanation of what the data miner is saying, which is funny because I think somebody commented on the video and was like, this isn't technical at all. It's like, yeah, that's the point of the video. It's supposed to be like really dumbed down of like, hey, this might not work. Here are some possibilities. Hopefully Pokemon Home comes out sooner rather than later. So Pokemon Go is also built in Unity. And the thing about Pokemon Go is when it sends a Pokemon to Pokemon Home, it actually deletes the Pokemon in Pokemon Go, and then it creates a new Pokemon based off that Pokemon and sends it over.
It's
Like Star
teleportation.
Trek transporters.
Yeah, it's teleportation.
So the based on how Pokemon Go did it, that was kind of maybe the like, oh, maybe that's the solution in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl because they're both based in Unity. Is Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl going to fake it like Pokemon Go fakes it, and is it going to delete the Pokemon that you caught, create a new one, send it over to Home, and then like solve the like coding mismatch issue that the data miner was suggesting? For whatever they did it though, they fixed it so these games communicate and you can go back and forth. So you can take a Pokemon from Brilliant Diamond, send it to Legends, send it back to Brilliant Diamond, send it to Sword and Shield, send it back to Legends, send it. So they did it. They fixed it, and it's working. There are still some issues right now, like somehow Spinda got messed up. So any Spindas you caught in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl are stuck in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
Again?
The data miner said that the reason that it's stuck is because the coding database for that is just backwards and they have to flip it. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how a whole string of code is suddenly backwards.
And it's always Spinda.
And
It's
What
there's
does
also
backwards
the
mean? That's
I don't know what that means either.
that's not
There's
a
also
technical term.
There's also the Ninjask Nincada issue, which happened in Sword and Shield. So Pokemon Home has it built in where it doesn't like it tries to find the duplicates and then says like, oh, this is a clone, this is a duplicate, therefore it cannot exist, and it's to prevent hacking. Well, because Nincada splits into two Pokemon in Sword and Shield, Pokemon Home would be like, oh, this is a duplicate, so it's not real. But it that's how it evolves. It splits itself. So they had to fix that. They did fix that in Sword and Shield. But that same exact issue now exists in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl that they fixed like 2 years ago, so they have to fix that again. So that's like, how did you not learn this? How did, like, it's kind of like it's kind of like Niantic like forgetting to turn on and off a shiny. It's like we just had this problem 2 years ago. It's the same problem.
But like, put it on the database. Like, put it on the big board. Number of days since Spinda has been messed up.
Yeah,
0.
It's always the same Pokemon. Like it's like Spinda. There is also I'm trying to think of all the issues so we can communicate them here. If you I can't remember which form of Giratina it is, but bear with me here.
Oh, I saw this.
In Legends, you can't have shiny legendary Pokemon because all of the legendary and mythical Pokemon in Legends are shiny locked. Correct? But now that Pokemon Home is working, you could take a shiny Giratina from Sword and Shield, Dynamax Adventure, or whatever, or Pokemon Go, it doesn't matter, like, move it into Legends, and that would be legal. So prior to Pokemon Home coming out, people would hack in shiny versions of the legendaries, like Palkia, Thundurus, etc. And before the Home update, if you had a shiny Giratina and it used, I believe it was Shadow Force. It's the snake Giratina. It's not the one with the feet. No feet. No feet Giratina would use Shadow Force.
No feet is Origin Form, I'm pretty sure.
No feet Giratina would use Shadow Force, and your game would crash. And the reason the game would crash, according to the data miner, was because they never put that animation in for the shiny because you couldn't get shiny legendary Pokemon. So because the shiny would do that animation, there was no animation for it to do, so therefore the game would crash. Now that you can legally move in shiny no feet Giratina, they never fix that issue in Legends, so your game will crash. So just a fair warning. If for whatever reason you're still playing Legends and you want to move your shiny Giratina to Legends, I don't know why you would want to. You can't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
There's not like... but if you do move your shiny no feet Giratina to Legends and then you do Shadow Force, your game will crash. Who knows if they will fix that? That's just something that exists. I don't know if this is an issue with Pokemon Home being updated, or if this was just always an issue with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, but I took a Pokemon from Sword and Shield with Pokerus, and I moved it into Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl to give those Pokemon in that game Pokerus. And the Pokerus symbol, the little happy face, isn't centered in the square. And I don't think it has nothing to do probably with Pokemon Home, just the fact I could move it over. But I just thought it was really funny that, like, for a company called I Love Computer Animation, they couldn't even get the smiley face to be
That's
centered.
not an animation.
Yeah.
That's a still picture.
That's a still.
We need Ilka to work on Arceus. We need Game Freak to work on Brilliant Diamond. That way everything will be together. What other weird things happened with this stuff? There is the mystery gifts now for the... Oh, the other thing, just in case anyone... If you have a shiny Rowlet from Sword and Shield or Sun and Moon or Pokemon Go, that doesn't exist in Pokemon Go, scratch that last sentence. If you have a shiny Rowlet in Sword and Shield, for example, you move it into Legends, you evolve it, it will evolve into Hisuian Decidueye because you're evolving it in that region. So if you want a Hisuian Decidueye, you can take a Rowlet from Sword and Shield, move it on over, evolve it, and then I guess it will be stuck there or be stuck in home because you can't move it back.
Happens.
Yeah. You can. Okay, so for my ribbon people, I don't know where you at, but hello, ribbon people. It seems that all of the ribbons
He's just
are
talking to himself.
are exactly the same in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. So if you're doing a ribbon quest, you could, for the most part, skip regular Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum and go into Gen 5, which has no ribbons, and then go into Gen 6, get all your ribbons in Gen 6, go to Gen 7, get all your ribbons in Gen 7, go to Sword and Shield, get your ribbons in Sword and Shield, then move to Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and get the ribbons you are missing. So that does work. The exclusive, the brand new ribbon in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, which is the star spangled ribbon or whatever it's called. If you get that on a Pokemon and move it into Sword and Shield does not see that ribbon, but you can still get it. So like if you had a Kyogre in Sword and Shield, moved it to Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, you could get all of those ribbons on it in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Move it back to Sword and Shield, it would have all the ribbons, but that new one. So it's kind of like the ball issue. It just doesn't show it, but in Pokemon Home, it will have it. I think, though, if you are doing a ribbon thing, I think it's actually better to skip those original games, because I think in order to get the Star Spangled Ribbon, it's not called, I don't know what it's called. It's the new one. In order to get that one, you have to do all the contests. So the Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl doesn't acknowledge the ribbons that you got in the older game. It only acknowledges the work you do in the contest that you're doing in those games. So you're pretty much doing contests twice. So you're almost better off just skipping it. I mean, the contests in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl aren't terribly hard. It's just you have to do it again. I think that's everything. I think that's all the weird stuff for Home 2.0. Is it worth $16 update? I'd still think no.
But I'm paying it, so whatever.
Yeah, me too. I got way too many Pokemon to weed through.
I believe you still get like the 30 for free, right? You get like you get one box for free, and you can move Pokemon in between.
Yeah.
And if you're a hardcore collector, I mean, it's your only option. If you're not hardcore enough, and you don't really, it's still hard to. Okay, it's still hard. I think why I still say no is Pokemon Home worth $16 is because you're still in a situation where none of these games really actually communicate with each other. Like, yeah, you could take a Kyogre from Sword and Shield and move it into Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That's cool. Yeah, you could take a Pikachu from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee and move it into Arceus. And yeah, I guess that's cool. You can't really do anything with it. But like, these Pokemon still get stuck.
Right.
Like, you can't do anything with your Mr. Rhyme. You can't do anything with your Hisuian Decidueye. You literally can't even do anything with an Incineroar. And Incineroar's not even a new Pokemon. But like, Incineroar can't go to any of these games. So I do think it gets better with like Scarlet and Violet. Like for example, if Scarlet and Violet has Gastrodon, you can at least go like, okay, the Gastrodon can come from Legends, which is cool. So I guess best case scenario is Gastrodon in heavy ball's probably heavy ball, or what's the Gigaton? Gastrodon in Gigaton Ball can come from Legends. It can go into Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. You can get a bunch of ribbons on it. You can send it over to Sword and Shield.
Nobody wants.
You can get a bunch of ribbons on it there. And then ideally you can set it in Scarlet and Violet. And ideally it would have all of the ribbons from those two games. Plus it would be in the Gigaton Ball from Legends. And it could move freely between those 4 games. That would be like the best situation for a Pokemon. But you're already limited by that Pokemon has to exist in Gen 4 or earlier, and also has to appear in Sword and Shield. So like Beedrill would be a terrible example because Beedrill does appear in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, but doesn't appear in Sword and Shield. But I guess the Beedrill could come from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Ideally is the word of the show. Ideally, it would get better when more Pokemon games come out.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
I mean, the promise is that now that home exists, maybe they'll start designing games with home in mind.
True. Maybe. Big maybe.
Maybe Pokemon Sleep has something to do with Pokemon Home.
Oh, there you go.
Question of the week.
There are questions just ready for asking, and you're going to ask us a few.
We had like a lot.
I didn't
A
hear
lot
that
of
on
YouTube
TikTok.
stuff. Brandon sent in the Pokemon Go stuff. We didn't cover this, but Niantic did partner with the Sulphur Road officially.
Yeah.
Which
Buying out the
when we go
competition.
back to the Wayfair conversation and like organize communities, we're trying to build communities together. They're literally using the Sulphur Road's community feature for this. Like that's the partnership.
They're
Which-
buying their silence.
Which like makes sense. Like the Sulphur Road brings people together. They do a bunch of research. Niantic frequently reads, debating about listens to the Sulphur Road, but they read the Sulphur Road. This is from Raph in our Attic channel. Which Pokemon would you let babysit your kids?
Who
Wigglytuff.
wants children?
Wigglytuff has like the whole sing them to sleep. Those kids are going to be out. Perfect.
Literally any Pokemon with hypnosis.
Any hypnosis or sing.
I'm gonna say a Moongus because Spore can't miss. It's 100% accurate.
I was gonna say let me find some kind of
Gengar.
poison type. Or like I mean Gengar's good because it is poison because it's like if I have kids, there's been some horrible mistakes somewhere, and let's take care of that problem.
What about, hear me out, what about Darkrai so that they have horrible nightmares?
Well, except they have the nightmares, but then it's like then you've got to deal with the consequences of the nightmares when they wake up. Right?
True. So I am sticking with the Wigglytuff, sing them to sleep. Also, real squishy so the kids can't do a lot of damage.
Although your kids, Greg, would be perfect angels.
No, they would not. I wasn't. I know my lineage. That is not a possibility.
This is from Robert off our YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, hi. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You can comment your question of the week. The question is, when Ash faces Leon in the anime, what do you think is most beneficial? Ash beats Leon clean, Leon beats Ash in a close match, or Leon beats Ash in a squash match?
I think from like a dramatic standpoint, it would be most dramatic and fitting how they do things is Leon beats Ash in a close match.
Close match.
I mean, that's like the anime thing, right? Like they're down to the last ones. They've spent everything that they have. They're tired. They're exhausted. They're panting, and they both send out their Charizards. But Leon's can Gigantamax, and regular Charizard can't because he was spending all that time in that valley with
The other Charizards.
We don't even know what they're doing in that valley at this point.
It's a Charizard sanctuary.
They're just eating chips and watching soaps.
Yeah, there's no way it's not Ash versus Leon, right? There's no way.
No, there's no way. That's like the whole point of the series. Unless it's like Cynthia comes in as like squish Ash early on, and then Ash just gets to watch. And
I
then
think
the
if Ash
person that,
loses early,
and then the
if
person
Ash-
that was it Elaine that beat Ash?
Yes.
Elaine goes and gets stomped by Leon.
No, I want to
And
see
Ash is, like,
Leon
sobbing
versus
in the-
Elaine, and then it's like,
I could see I could definitely see a situation where Ash loses to Elaine again, which I think is acceptable. I think like Elaine being able to beat Ash twice in a tournament would make people go wild and upset, but like upset in the good way. Like that's the response you want. You want Elaine to constantly crush Ash. That's what you want. But I could definitely see it being Alon versus Leon only because they both have Charizard. And so it would be Mega Charizard against Gigantamax Charizard, and that would be cool. I think I would be more upset if Ash beats Elaine finally, and then Ash beats Leon. Like I think if you're gonna make it where if you make it where Ash beats Elaine, you're like, okay, Ash got his victory over Elaine finally, because I'm pretty sure Ash versus Elaine like 4 or 5 times in X and Y. And I don't think some of those matches. I know the very first time he fights Elaine, like Elaine wins clean. I don't remember if the other matches are interrupted by like Team Rocket and stuff. But I can't see Ash beating Elaine and then Ash going on to beat Leon. There's no way. But I would assume it would be close. I don't think they're going to do a squash match.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's not
I
an
think it's
interesting
gonna be
narrative
close.
if it's not close.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
they
have
already
to stretch
did
it out over multiple episodes, right? Like
they already did a squash match. They've done a couple squash matches with Ash. The first time he fights Wannabe Wally was squash, and then the first time he fights B was like obvious squash.
yeah, and that Metapod battle was an obvious squash.
The which one?
Metapod battle. Metapod versus Metapod in the forest.
Very early on. I was just
Very
talking about
early
Journey's
on.
squash matches, but yes, yeah.
Very early on.
When is AJ and his Sandshrew going to come back? I want to see that match.
Never.
I want to see that Sandshrew and that Pikachu finally battle each other.
AJ discovered a lot of things about themselves and are living their best life in Kanto.
Yeah, I think Leon wins, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think
I predict nothing. Maybe they have a woman win finally.
I also don't think they give Ash 2 champions in a row.